Most gardeners think weeds are the problem. They're not. The real problem is the method you're using to kill them. Spraying harsh chemicals or even overusing natural weed killers doesn't just remove weeds, it damages your soil biology. And once that biology is weakened, weeds come back even stronger, faster, and more aggressive. That's why you see the same weeds return every few weeks no matter what you spray. You're not solving the root issue, you're resetting it. Before we break down the $1 liquid method, there's one small habit that makes a bigger difference than people expect: how you handle your kitchen waste. I use a simple countertop compost bin, the Enloy compost bin for kitchen countertop, to keep scraps from rotting the wrong way before they're used. Most people let scraps go anaerobic or dry out, and that ruins their value. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It's a small fix, but it directly impacts how effective your soil building and weed control methods become. Now let's get into the part most people miss, why most weed killers fail long term. Here's what I've seen repeatedly in real gardens, backyards, raised beds, even larger plots. When you kill weeds aggressively without improving soil conditions, you create bare, exposed ground, and bare soil is an invitation. You know, weed seeds are always present. The moment you remove competition and leave soil uncovered, they germinate. That's why people get stuck in a cycle. Spray, clear, regrow, repeat. The so-called Amish liquid approach works differently. It doesn't just kill the weed, it changes the conditions around it. But there's a right way to use it and a wrong way that can damage your soil if you're not careful. So, this is the $1 liquid and what it actually does. The basic mix is simple: vinegar, a small amount of salt, and a drop of dish soap. But here's where most advice goes wrong. They treat this like a blanket spray. That's the fastest way to harm your soil. What I've tested and what actually works is targeted application. You apply this directly to the leaves of weeds, preferably during a hot, dry part of the day. The vinegar pulls moisture out of the plant tissue, the salt disrupts cellular function, and the soap helps it stick and penetrate. Within hours, you'll see visible damage, and within a day or two, most surface growth is gone. But here's the part no one really explains. Killing the weed is only half the job. If you stop here, the weed comes back, you know? Roots remain alive in many cases, especially with those deeper-rooted weeds. And even if that plant dies, another one just pops up to replace it. So the real method, it actually combines two steps. First, there's targeted killing. Second, immediate soil covering. And this is where things start to shift, honestly. This is how you stop weeds from coming back. After applying the liquid and allowing the weed to die back, you don't just leave that soil exposed, you cover it. Not with thick mulch piled randomly, but with a controlled, breathable layer of organic material, like dry leaves, shredded paper, or a mix of plant debris. About 2 to 3 inches is enough. This blocks sunlight, stabilizes moisture, and prevents new seeds from germinating. In one of my beds, I tested this side by side. One section was sprayed and left bare. The other was sprayed and then covered. Within 2 weeks, the uncovered section had new weeds, while the covered section stayed clean. That's the difference. There's a mistake here that can ruin your soil. If you overuse salt in the mixture, you create long-term soil problems. Salt doesn't just affect weeds, it affects everything. It disrupts microbial life and can reduce soil fertility if used excessively. So, yeah, the ratio matters. I keep it light. About 1 cup of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and just a drop or 2 of soap for small batches. And I never apply it broadly across areas where I plan to plant immediately. This is a precision tool, not a blanket solution. Let's talk about timing, because it changes the results completely. Applying this mix during cool or humid conditions reduces its effectiveness. You want heat, you want sun. That's when the liquid works with the environment to dehydrate the plant quickly. In shaded areas, results are slower and you may need a second application, but again, always follow up with covering the soil. That's the step that turns short-term control into long-term suppression. This is where most gardeners overcomplicate weed control. You don't need expensive herbicides. You don't need constant spraying. You need a system. Kill selectively, cover consistently, and over time your weed pressure drops significantly. In raised beds, I've seen this method reduce weeding time by more than half within a single growing season. In container gardens, it's even more noticeable because space is limited and easier to control. There's a deeper reason this works so well. When you stop disturbing the soil and start keeping it covered, you're not just preventing weeds, you're improving soil health. Microbes stay active, moisture stays balanced, worms start moving closer to the surface. And that creates a system where your plants outcompete weeds naturally. Even in hydroponic adjacent setups, the principle holds. Stability and balance reduce unwanted growth. It always comes back to controlling conditions, not just reacting to problems. If you want to push this method further, do this one thing. After covering the soil, start feeding it lightly. Add small amounts of organic matter over time instead of large occasional inputs. This keeps biological activity steady and strengthens the system. When soil is active, weeds struggle to establish. That's the long-term advantage. This is the part most people overlook completely. Weed control is not about elimination. It's about management. When your soil is healthy and covered, weeds lose their role. They're no longer needed to repair the system. And that's when your garden becomes easier to maintain. Not because you're doing more, but because you've set it up correctly. Final thoughts. If you're stuck in a cycle of constant weeding, it's not because you're not working hard enough. It's because the system you're using is incomplete. Use the liquid method carefully. Target the problem, then fix the conditions. That's what creates lasting results. If you found this useful, subscribe to the channel. This is the kind of practical, experience-based gardening that actually works beyond theory. And if you know someone constantly battling weeds, share this with them. Once they understand this approach, everything changes.